Imagine this scenario. You're in the middle of a heated argument or something unexpected completely disrupts your day. You feel anger rising, frustration taking over, anxiety building up. Now what? How do you react? The truth is, most people lose control easily. Small problems turn into emotional storms. But what if there was a method to stay calm no matter what happens? The Stoics had the answer. They faced wars, betrayals, failures, and losses, yet remained unshaken. How did they do it? How did they stay mentally strong and emotionally stable in the face of chaos? The answer lies in their daily habits. Seneca wrote, "We cannot control what happens, but we can control how we respond." The way you handle problems does not depend on the problem itself, but on the habits that shape your mind every day. And that's exactly what you'll learn here. 10 proven Stoic habits to stay calm in any situation. If you apply these principles, nothing and no one will be able to disturb your peace. The foundation of mental strength. The 4 Stoic virtues. If you want to be emotionally unshakable, you need to build your foundation on solid principles. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from within, not from external circumstances. They followed 4 fundamental virtues that guided all their actions. Keycap 1. Wisdom. The ability to see reality clearly without illusions or impulsiveness. A wise person doesn't get carried away by fleeting emotions. They think before they act. Keycap 2. Courage. Not just physical bravery but also emotional and mental courage. The ability to face challenges, frustrations, and losses without breaking down. Keycap 3. Justice. For the Stoics, doing what is right was more important than winning or losing. They believed that staying calm and acting with integrity was the best way to handle any situation. Keycap 4. Temperance. Balance. Knowing when to speak, when to stay silent, when to act, and when to wait. Those who practice temperance don't overreact but keep their mind in control. The key to inner peace. The dichotomy of control. The Stoics followed an essential principle, the dichotomy of control. They understood that life is divided into 2 categories. Small blue diamond, what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions. Small blue diamond, what we cannot control, other people's opinions, the past, the future, and external circumstances. The key to Stoic calm? Stop wasting energy on what's out of your control and focus on what truly matters. How to stop reacting emotionally. Most people react without thinking. When something goes wrong, when they're criticized, provoked, or caught off guard, their first reaction is always emotional. Anger, frustration, anxiety. But the Stoics knew that real power lies in controlling your response. Seneca said, "How often do we regret speaking but almost never regret staying silent?" The most powerful habit for staying calm is not reacting impulsively. But how do you train yourself to do this? Here are 3 Stoic techniques to control your mind before reacting. Keycap 1. The 3-second pause. When you feel a strong emotion rising, take 3 deep breaths before responding. This gives your rational brain time to take control. Keycap 2. The strategic question. Before reacting, ask yourself, will this response help me or make things worse? If it will make things worse, say nothing. Keycap 3. Long-term perspective. Imagine yourself 1 month, 1 year, 5 years from now. Will this situation still matter? If not, it doesn't deserve an immediate reaction. Those who can pause before reacting hold true power over themselves. The Stoics didn't suppress emotions. They simply decided when and how to express them at the right moment. Stop fighting reality. Amor Fati. Most people resist reality. They complain when things don't go as planned. They get frustrated when facing difficulties. They rebel against what has already happened. But what does this solve? Nothing. The Stoics knew that resisting the inevitable only creates suffering. Instead, they cultivated a powerful mindset. Amor Fati, love your fate. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept everything that happens as if you had chosen it." This doesn't mean you have to like every hardship, but rather accept it as part of your journey and use it to grow. Here's how to apply Amor Fati daily. Keycap 1. See every problem as a test. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, how can I grow from this? Keycap 2. Don't dwell on the past. What's done is done. Your only choice now is how you move forward. Keycap 3. Turn adversity into wisdom. If something can't be avoided, use it to your advantage. A mistake becomes a lesson. A failure becomes experience. A Stoic doesn't wish for an easier life. They wish to be stronger. And the more you embrace challenges as part of the journey, the more resilient and unshakable you become. The power of silence. Less reaction, more control. Most people talk too much. They react to provocations, try to justify their actions, and engage in pointless arguments. But the Stoics knew that silence is a powerful weapon. Seneca wrote, Silence can be a more powerful response than any word. The Stoic habit of strategic silence teaches that not every situation requires a response. Here's how to apply strategic silence daily. Keycap 1. Use silence to diffuse conflicts. If someone tries to provoke, attack, or drag you into drama, respond with silence. The lack of reaction breaks the conflict cycle and weakens the other person. Keycap 2. Listen more than you speak. Most people don't listen to understand, they listen to reply. But if you truly listen, your responses will be wiser and more impactful. Keycap 3. Speak only when necessary. Before saying something, ask yourself, does this really need to be said? If the answer is no, stay silent. A Stoic doesn't waste energy on what doesn't matter. The more you master silence, the stronger and more respected you become. Final thought, the choice is yours. Most people live in constant emotional turmoil. They react without thinking, fight against reality, and let external events dictate their inner peace. But you don't have to live that way. By applying these Stoic habits, you can become white heavy checkmark, unshakable in the face of chaos. White heavy checkmark, unaffected by things you can't control. White heavy checkmark, stronger, calmer, and more resilient. Now I challenge you. Which of these Stoic habits will you start practicing today? Comment below and let's build a Stoic mindset together. And remember, Stoicism isn't about controlling the world, it's about controlling yourself. If you master that, nothing will ever shake you again. If even an emperor needed this practice, why wouldn't you? Here's a simple method to start your Stoic journaling practice. Keycap 1. In the morning, write down 3 questions. What do I want to accomplish today? What obstacles might arise? How would a Stoic handle them? Keycap 2. At night, reflect. What did I do well? Where did I lose control? How can I improve tomorrow? Keycap 3. Be brutally honest. This journal is not for others. It's for you to see the truth about yourself. Stoic journaling is a mirror for your mind. The more you write, the more you learn to control your emotions and respond to life with wisdom. Memento mori, remember that you will die. Most people live as if they had infinite time. They postpone their dreams, worry about meaningless things, and waste time on pointless conflicts. But one day all of this will end. The Stoics had a constant reminder. Memento mori, remember that you will die. This may sound dark, but to the Stoics there was nothing more liberating. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say." Seneca said, "Life is not short. We just waste it." When you truly understand that your life has an end, your priorities change. Small blue diamond, you stop wasting time on resentment. Small blue diamond, you stop worrying about what doesn't matter. Small blue diamond, you start valuing every moment. 3 Stoic exercises to apply memento mori daily. Keycap 1. Ask yourself every day, if today were my last day, would I waste time worrying about this? If the answer is no, let it go immediately. Keycap 2. Appreciate the present as if it were the last time. Look at the people you love and imagine this could be your last conversation with them. This will make you cherish every moment. Keycap 3. Stop postponing life. The problem is, later is not guaranteed. If something is important to you, do it now. A Stoic does not fear death. They use it as motivation to truly live. Self-control is built, not given. Most people want to have control over their emotions, but they don't want to pay the price of discipline. They hope to stay calm under stress, but they constantly give in to impulses, procrastination, and weak habits. A Stoic knows that self-control doesn't appear out of nowhere, it is built. Epictetus said, "No man is free if he cannot master himself." If you want to stay calm in any situation, you must train your mind every day. Small daily habits build mental resilience, and the more you practice discipline, the harder it becomes to lose control. 3 Stoic techniques to develop self-discipline. Keycap 1. Do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. The Stoics believed that action should come before motivation. If you wait to feel inspired to act, you will never do anything. Keycap 2. Create intentional discomfort. Take cold showers. Walk long distances without complaining. Fast from time to time. When you voluntarily endure discomfort, you prepare for unexpected challenges. Keycap 3. Build daily rituals. Wake up early. Write down your thoughts. Avoid distractions. Repetition builds mental strength. Self-discipline is freedom. Whoever masters themselves is not a slave to impulses, emotions, or external distractions. And in chaos, only the disciplined remain unshaken. Mastering your words, speak less, say more. How many times have you regretted something you said in the heat of the moment? How many arguments could have been avoided if you had chosen your words more carefully? The Stoics knew that once words are spoken, they cannot be undone. That's why they spoke less, but with more purpose. Seneca wrote, "We often regret speaking, but almost never regret staying silent." Most people speak without thinking, react impulsively, and get caught in unnecessary conflicts. But those who control their words control their emotions. 3 Stoic strategies to control your words and reactions. Keycap 1. Ask yourself, does this really need to be said? Before speaking, pause and reflect. Is this useful? Will it improve the situation? If the answer is no, stay silent. Keycap 2. Learn to accept criticism without reacting. The Stoics were indifferent to insults and provocations. They knew that others' opinions do not define who we are. When someone criticizes you, observe in silence instead of reacting emotionally. Keycap 3. Respond calmly, even when you're right. It's not about winning arguments, it's about keeping your peace. Speak firmly but without raising your voice. The person who remains calm always has more control over the situation. True power is not in speaking louder, but in knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. The Stoic formula for true happiness: gratitude. Most people live in a state of dissatisfaction. Small blue diamond, they focus on what they lack. Small blue diamond, they obsess over what could be different. Small blue diamond, they compare themselves to others. And this mentality traps them in an endless cycle of frustration. The Stoics had a powerful antidote to this: Stoic gratitude. Seneca wrote, "Happiness is not about having more, but appreciating what you already have. The problem is not what's missing in your life, it's how you see what you already have." 3 Stoic exercises to practice gratitude daily. Keycap 1. Practice reverse visualization. Instead of thinking about what you want to have, imagine losing what you already have. Your job, your home, your health, your family. If all of this disappeared tomorrow, how would you feel? This teaches your mind to appreciate what's already part of your life. Keycap 2. Start and end your day with gratitude. In the morning, ask yourself, what is already good in my life? At night, reflect, what happened today that I can be grateful for? Keycap 3. Express gratitude through action. The best way to show gratitude is to fully enjoy what you already have, without complaining. Stoic gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a daily habit that transforms your perspective and brings true peace. Final challenge: choose your habit. Calmness is not a talent. It is not a privilege for a few. It is a habit built daily. And the Stoics understood this better than anyone. Now, you know 10 habits that can transform the way you respond to the world. White heavy checkmark. Not reacting impulsively, because the first reaction is rarely the best. White heavy checkmark. Practicing Amor Fati, accepting what happens and using it to your advantage. White heavy checkmark. Using strategic silence, speaking less and with more purpose. White heavy checkmark. Anticipating difficulties, preparing mentally for the unexpected. White heavy checkmark. Detaching from results, focusing on the process, not the reward. White heavy checkmark. Keeping a Stoic journal, writing to organize your thoughts. White heavy checkmark. Remembering memento mori, living with awareness that time is finite. White heavy checkmark. Developing self-discipline, because without discipline, there is no emotional control. White heavy checkmark. Mastering words and reactions, knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. White heavy checkmark. Practicing Stoic gratitude, valuing what you have before it's too late. Now the question is, which of these habits will you start practicing today? Choose one, apply it for a few days and see the difference. Because calmness doesn't come from luck, it comes from practice.